Okay, this video is to help you get started on the slides over solving equations with variables on both sides. Okay, you're going to have some problems to do that I set up. I set them up so that you would get rid of your x's first, okay, instead of your numbers. Okay, I set it up that you would get the x's on one side first. And I also, because kids make fewer mistakes, I made these so that you would get positive x's on one side first. Okay, so if you weren't doing these slides, there's so many other ways we could be solving these. Okay, but if you're doing the slides and you're using my blanks that I have set up, okay, you need to do it using the advice I'm going to give you here. Okay, just know that in real life you don't always have to. Okay, so I have 3 tips, guys. If you are solving an equation and you have positive x's on both sides, okay, I would subtract the smaller x term from both sides. Okay, so if I had 5x plus 2 is equal to 3x plus 8, okay, the 5x and the 3x are both positive, so I'm going to get rid of the smaller one. Okay, I'm going to get rid of 3x. And the way I'm going to get rid of that 3x is to subtract it. But I have to subtract it from both sides. Okay, when I subtract 3x from both sides, on the right, see how I have 5x minus 3x? Okay, that's 2x. And I still have plus 2. I still have plus 2. On the right side, 3x minus 3x goes away. I'm left with 8. Okay, so I have 2x plus 2 is equal to 8. Okay, now that I have my x's on one side, okay, and they're positive x's, now I'm going to get the x's alone. Okay, I need to get rid of that added 2. Okay, to get that added 2 out of the way, I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. Okay, when I do that, the 2 minus 2 goes away. I'm left with 2x on the left. On the right, I have 8 minus 2. See that there? 8 minus 2, which is 6. Okay, so now I have 2x equals 6. To get rid of the multiplied number, I'm going to divide. So 2 is multiplied to x. So to get rid of that multiplied 2, I'm going to divide each side by 2. And then I have 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, so that's tip number 1. When you have 2 positive x terms, get rid of the smaller one. Okay, tip 2. Okay, and again, this is just advice. When you have a positive x term and a negative x term, okay, add to get rid of the negative x term. Okay, so in this problem, I have negative 3x on one side, and I have positive 1x on the other side. Okay, get rid of the negative x term and add. So I'm going to add something to get rid of a negative 3x. Okay, I'm going to add positive 3x. So I'm going to add 3x to both sides. Now when I do that, my negative 3x and added 3x goes away. Okay, I'm left with 9. On the other side, I have x plus 3x. Okay, now you have to think of that as 1x plus 3x is 4x. I still have plus 1. Okay, so I have 9 equals 4x plus 1. Okay, now keep thinking back to the Mrs. Brown days. You want to get rid of the added 1 by subtracting 1 from both sides. Because you want to get the x's alone. Okay, look here on the left. You have 9 minus 1 is 8. Over here on the right, the 1 minus 1 cancels. You're left with 4x. You have 8 is equal to 4x. Okay, now think about how to get rid of a multiplied number, because you want to get x completely alone. Okay, 4 is multiplied to x. So to get rid of a multiplied number, I divide. I divide each side by 4. And that leaves me with 8 divided by 4, which is 2. Okay, so tip 2. If you have a negative value of x and a positive value of x, okay, on opposite sides of the equal sign, I recommend you get rid of the negative one by adding. Okay, last piece of advice. When you have negative x terms on both sides, I recommend you add to get rid of the more negative x term. Okay, the one that's more negative. Okay, so example 3 here. We have negative 2x plus 3 is equal to negative 4x plus 5. Okay, you have a negative x term on the left and the right. Negative 4x is more negative than negative 2x. So I'm going to add to get rid of that negative 4x. Okay, and I'm going to do that by adding 4x. I have to do that to both sides. Okay, on the left here, I have negative 2x plus 4x. Okay, negative 2x plus 4x is 2x. I still have plus 3. On the right side, the negative 4x went away. Okay, that's what we wanted. Okay, we're left with 5. Okay, so I have 2x plus 3 is equal to 5. Okay, now we have positive x's on one side, which is what I was hoping you would do. Okay, now we want to get those two x's alone. Okay, we got to get rid of the 3. To get rid of an added 3, okay, the inverse of add is subtract. So you subtract 3 from both sides. Okay, when you do that, the 3 minus 3 goes away. Okay, so you're just left with 2x on the left, 5 minus 3 on the right. See, you have 5 minus 3 there, which is 2. Okay, last step, to get rid of a multiplied 2, because you want x completely alone. Okay, the inverse of multiply is divide. Okay, divide both sides by 2. And now we have 2 divided by 2 is 1. Okay, now I did these problems without showing you how to do them with tiles, because we did that the other day. I will make another video if you want to follow along and watch me do them with tiles instead. Okay, but that's the 3 tips I would use when you solve the rest of the equations in this slide. Okay, let me know if you have any questions at all.